Alright guys, you see who's here with me tonight. Old Bama Marine Alt 6 made his way safely up here from Tusky Town. On your way up here, Marine, did you see any Tide fans once you got in the Tennessee line?
Man, they're everywhere. They're everywhere, Big Ball Daddy. They're everywhere.
I hear you, man. I saw a couple on the way back from work today. Well, look, we ain't going to spend a whole lot of time jabbing at each other in this video because we got all day tomorrow to do that. We know, everybody knows the big tailgate we're having. I put the video up with how to get there. We're going to talk a little bit about the game. What's the status on your guys' defense right now? Who's hurt? Is there anybody ineligible? Is there anybody that hasn't got their text? I mean, you know what I'm trying to say here.
No, I think Fluker, if I'm not mistaken, DJ Fluker's going to be out. Hightower has a soft cast on his leg.
It's going to be just like last year again. 8 games before a break. Man, we got our break this week. Couldn't have come at a better time. For whatever reason, there just hasn't been a lot of interviews that I've heard, so I don't know what the mindset is. I don't know, you know, where the guys' heads are, if they've finally gotten over, surely they've gotten over LSU by now. And the more important question is whether or not they've got over that ass beating they took down in Georgia. You've been to a bunch of games up here at Tennessee.
This will be my 7th one.
7th game at Neyland Stadium. That's impressive.
I don't miss many Alabama Tennessee games. Like I said in my video, there's something about Tennessee. All right, and Auburn's on a different. I guess if you wanted to put Auburn and Tennessee for me, I want to say Auburn's on a different scale. I guess. I mean, I hate Auburn, but there's just this nagging 364 days a year, this big orange tee that I just cannot get out of my head. That Tennessee game is just one I look forward to.
It's kind of like sitting this close to him, and I imagine he feels the same way. It's like you feel this force field that just makes you want to go.
It's just like, yeah, it's like right here.
But no, seriously, no, you've heard this rivalry called a gentleman's rivalry. And this will be my 6th Tennessee-Alabama game. And of all the SEC games I've been to, I've never had a problem with Alabama fans at the game. Alabama fans, they got that air of confidence, we'll say. Tennessee fans are hurting right now. You know, we're not used to this shit.
Well, I'm going to tell you, that really surprised me. Now, on the way in, when I was passing through, right after I passed Tennessee line, I started seeing a lot of Tennessee fans that are on their way up here. I mean, it's obviously it's Alabama, Tennessee, and like you said in your other video, you can take this record book, or you can take our stats right now and our team and Tennessee's team, and I mean by stats, like you said, I mean we should, at least beat y'all by 20. But the problem is when these two teams face, it seems over the history of time that record books go out the window.
Yeah.
You know, there's just something about that Tennessee tee that Alabama fans just cannot stand.
Talked a lot too this week about tradition. You hear the word tradition, you hear the word history, you hear that stuff a lot when Tennessee and Alabama fans talk. I wonder if the kids these days actually get the tradition of this right here, because I'm telling you, man, if you're not from Tennessee or Alabama, you don't get this.
Right.
But I think everybody in the SEC, with the exception of maybe South Carolina and Arkansas, and that's because they're still like the little step kids we haven't fully accepted into the family yet. Everybody in this conference gets the 3rd Saturday in October, but the 4th this year.
Right.
So what's your opinion on kids and what they think about the history of this game?
Like,
hell, you're a student.
Oh yeah,
you hear it firsthand. So.
Student-wise and younger generation, they hate them just as much. You've seen that video a couple years ago. That guy the student from Alabama that made that
video.
It's still around. When all week on campus, man, everybody's been wearing the I Hate Orange T-shirts. You know, we've had Stomp Tennessee out Tuesday night. We had it over on the quad. There was a bunch of students that got together and we played Alabama versus Tennessee. We dressed up a bunch of students that really don't, kind of just students that go into college. They didn't come to Alabama for football.
Right.
But, we have this, it's became a tradition for the last 3 years where a bunch of us get up together and we go play out on the quad and we play Tennessee, and y'all are 0-3. Y'all did lose Tuesday night 49-0, so
kind of like a glorified powder puff kind of game.
Pretty much. It's a flag football game. We don't we're not out there to hurt. We're just out there to we just go we went to Hibbett's and bought a bunch of those orange, little mesh cheap jerseys and threw them on them. And man, I mean, it's just Tennessee week, and it's a whole week of just it's ridiculous. And that's why I always say teams like that are not in the SEC just do not understand.
Well, I've lived in the heart of Big Ten country. I lived in Columbus, Ohio for 6 years. I've experienced the Ohio State-Michigan rivalry. I've experienced the backyard brawl. For those of you who don't know what that is, that's West Virginia, Pittsburgh. I've been to 2 of those games at Mountaineer Field.
I've been to the Holy War, Utah and BYU. I've been to the Holy War.
But that was cool.
That was interesting. That definitely is one of my top 10 rivalries. That is Utah and BYU. That's an intense rivalry right there.
I've even been to Duke, Carolina at Cameron Indoor. And now I got to tell you, not to get off subject, but Cam, if you're watching, you be proud of your boys. That is a rivalry.
Oh man!
I don't know about the week leading up to it, but the atmosphere in Cameron Indoor with Duke, Carolina, I've never been to anything to equal it. But keeping it football, of those 3 rivalry games that I've been to, and like Marine here, I'm biased. Ohio State, Michigan, can't touch it. The backyard brawl, that's a joke. And all that is basically a bunch of blue-collar steel workers slugging it out with a bunch of freaking rednecks. I want to tell you what I think may or may not happen tomorrow, then let everybody know how you think it's going to go. I think, okay, first of all, we don't have Daniel Lincoln this year, Tennessee fans. Last year, that would have been a great thing. We didn't know the guy was hurt. It would have been great to have not had him. This year, we need the guy. He's been automatic, but he's not there. We got Pilardi. Obviously, the kicking game is always a factor in any football game. This is going to surprise a lot of people. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. I think with your defense, you said it yourself, you're banged up. They're tired. They're mentally tired. You guys been hearing that shit all week. Tennessee is depleted. They're weak. They're young.
They're rested. That's the one thing that worries me is they're rested.
Got to go deep. We got to go early and often. We got to get, I'm saying maybe 100 yards rushing. I'm saying high-scoring football game. 34-31 Tennessee. Shock the world. That's it. What else can you say as a Tennessee fan? Got to have faith.
You got to have faith.
Even when you don't have talent, you got to have faith.
I think Alabama needs to come out and establish the run. I don't know what's going on. I mean, this whole pass-happy offense we've done the last couple of weeks has, as you can tell, has not been very successful.
How's that working for you?
God, man. You want to talk about pulling out hair. I mean, I almost look as bald as you do,
Yeah, you got a ways to
go. I mean, we got to establish a run. There's this passing, McElroy is not, he hit the slump last year.
He's not Peyton Manning.
Nobody cares about Peyton.
He's not even Freddie Kitchens.
Whoa, no. Whoa. Now, hold on about Freddie Kitchens.
Okay, he's not Jay Barker.
I'll give Jay Barker on that one. He's not a Jay Barker. But Jay Barker, well, if you really think about it, now Jay Barker didn't have the greatest stats either.
Okay.
But now he was a team manager.
He's not Ken Stabler or
there you
Joe
go.
Namath.
Kenny Stabler. I just want to say, if Alabama's going to have any chance to actually offensively score points, we've got to establish a run early. We've got to take our first drive, and Ingram and Richardson have to establish themselves in that running game. If we don't, it's going to be a long game. And I think another thing that I'm worried about is if Tennessee can come out passing, just like South Carolina did. All right, if Tennessee comes out passing in our secondary, which we all know is not the greatest. We have Rex Milner, which I wish would just Rex Milner just needs to get off the field. I'm sorry, but he's not ready yet. I'm gonna call. I'm gonna say if we come out and establish a run like I hope we do, Tennessee. If we come out and we knock Tennessee in the mouth, it's gonna be I think it's gonna be a more relaxing game. If we come out and do that, I'm gonna call 28 to. I'm gonna go 28 to 10, Alabama.
28 to 10.
I'm gonna go 28 to 10, Alabama. Now I will give you another prediction though. I will surprise a bunch of Alabama fans. I'm gonna give you another prediction. If Alabama does not establish a run the first drive or the first couple of drives, if we go 3 and out and we cannot establish, I'm gonna call 24-21 Alabama. So
Okay.
that's how I'm looking at it.
Fair enough. I'll give you my other scenario.
There you go.
Tennessee is either going to win a close game, we'll get run out of our own building. I think if Alabama establishes the run game, which honestly I don't see any reason, given time, that they shouldn't. I know Tennessee's going to come out fired up, and everybody knows we're the best two-quarter football team in the country. If we can withstand them coming out, you know, we got a good shot. But getting back to Alabama, if they establish that run, allow McElroy to maybe get in a few passes here and there and do what they were doing last year in the first 3 quarters, they could easily rack up over 300 yards rushing and beat us 35-10. Our offensive line, we've got to give Sims some time. Our receivers have got to run their routes. Justin Hunter, man, run your route. I know you know it, but I've heard Derek Dooley talk about, you know, half the time you're running a different route than Sims is throwing to. Well, guess what? That doesn't work out too well. You know,
not at all.
Anything can happen in this game, guys. You all know it. It's Tennessee. It's Alabama. Who the hell knows what's going to happen? All I know is we're going to have a hell of a tailgate tomorrow. We're going to have some fun.
And they're going to lose.
You heard it right there. It's official. It has been spoken.
Well, Big Ball Daddy, you ready for tomorrow?
I'm ready, man.
Ready to go have a good time, eat some good food? And
I'm absolutely ready.
there you go. Cheer on some respectful Alabama and Tennessee teams, right?
That's what it's all. This is what it's all about, guys. I mean, shit. Where else can you take 2 complete and total strangers, 2 people that didn't know each other, to steal it from Herschel, from Adam, you know, a few months ago? Now we're sitting here in the friendly confines of my beautifully decorated home.
Any of y'all that has never seen this place, and any Tennessee fans that's watching this that has never seen this place, if anybody ever, and I know nobody ever will, but if anybody was to ever call this man a bandwagon Tennessee fan, y'all have lost your everlasting mind. This is probably one of the ugliest, most prettiest places I've ever seen.
Appreciate it.
But I will tell you, it's ugly, but at the same time, it's one of the most prettiest things I've ever seen. So,
with that, I'm going to leave you with one sight that will probably scar me for the rest of my life, guys.
y'all see it, right?
Scar me for the rest of my life. Not that. You'll see what I'm talking about right now. In some parts of the world, that's sacrilegious to allow that ugly but beautiful, as he said about my stuff, ugly but beautiful thing amidst all of this gloriness.